Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam, and welcome back to the Movie Nerds Club. It's that time of the month again. If you're new around here, the Movie Nerds Club is essentially where myself, Rachel from Rachel's Reviews, Larry from LC Screen Talk, Ren from Ren Geekness, and Alyssa over at Mainly Movies come together on one topic and release top 5 videos for that topic. The videos for their lists of top 5 Sundance movies will be linked in the description below. I do highly recommend that you go check them out. They're all fantastic. Or if you'd like to check out more of my videos as a part of the Movie Nerds Club, the playlist link will be in the eye in the right-hand corner. But for right now, let's get into Sundance movies. And, well, I'm not special. I don't get to go to Sundance every year. I'm still a very small critic in that regard. And when this topic was presented to the group, I was thinking to myself, oh, this is going to be difficult. But then the more I thought about it and the more research I did, the more I recognized, oh, there's actually a lot of these movies that I have seen. At least enough to have a couple of honorable mentions. And, well, speaking of them, here are my honorable mentions. The Spectacular Now. In a weird roundabout way, The Spectacular Now kind of predicted the rise of the two main stars, Shailene Woodley and Miles Teller. I haven't seen this movie in a very long time, so I can't put it on my actual list. However, I do remember really enjoying it. And Dope. Again, I haven't seen this movie in a really long time, but I do remember liking it, and I also remember liking just the general premise and the message of the movie. But again, I haven't seen it in forever, so it can't make the list. And so, with all the grandstanding and the hot dogging out of the way, let's get into my actual list, starting with number 5. Number 5, The Witch, or The Vivitch, as its detractors creatively like to call it. This movie is notorious for being the directorial debut of Robert Eggers, who 2 years after would direct The Lighthouse, which is one of the best movies of 2019. And like I said, this movie definitely has a significant chunk of people who do not like this movie. And I can't argue with their points of disliking it, but I've always really enjoyed this movie. Atmosphere is definitely the key. Eggers definitely formed his own style in this movie. He has a very Kubrick-esque style to his filmmaking, very slow and methodical, but when the scares do happen, they catch you out of nowhere and are extremely effective. Again, there's a large chunk of people who dislike this movie, and I can't argue with why they don't like it. However, I've always quite enjoyed this movie. I think it's one of the more effective horror movies of the 2010s. Number 4, Searching. You want to know how much I love this movie? I saw it 3 times in theaters. I think that was the most I saw of any movie that year, other than Infinity War. But let's talk about Searching, because good lord, this movie should have gotten some kind of award, at least for the technical side of things. Because if you've never seen Searching, well, Searching is told entirely from the perspective of cameras shown in, like, iMacs and MacBook Pros and, well, phone cameras, like the one I have here. It's not really a found footage movie per se, but it's complicated how to go about it, but the point I'm trying to get at is this. This movie could have just easily been a gimmick, but there is much more to this movie than meets the eye. The story in this movie is one of the most heart-wrenching and tension-filled of that year. How John Cho did not get any award recognition for this role is anyone's guess, but he was a rock star in this movie. Just the hopelessness he feels and just how he's trying to find his daughter. But everything is going down one road and you're thinking, oh god, maybe he did something, and just... It's so good. If I had to have one nitpick, it's that the ending feels kind of tacked on. But that's really it's like that big a nitpick. This was an amazing directorial debut for Anish Charganti, and I hope he gets work for the next 30 years. Number 3, Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. This is a rare case of a movie being based on a book where I've actually read the book that the movie is based on. That makes sense, right? But I read the Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl book in high school, and when I heard a movie was going to be made, I was a little worried, because I really enjoyed the book, but The movie turned out to be far better than I could have ever expected. Along with The Edge of 17, this is one of the best teen movies that I had seen in a very long time. And it all falls to the chemistry between the three main actors. All three of them have gone on to some levels of success outside of this movie, and I'm all the happier for it because they all were great. I also love how, I want to say, realistic this movie feels, because the movie out and out says, hey, this is a sad story, but you get invested in it, knowing, like, putting in the back of your head that this is going to end bad, and then when it does end, you're like, well, they did warn us, but God, it's just... Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl is criminally underrated, and I think more people should watch it. Number 2, Fruitvale Station. I'm sad to say that a movie like this is pretty relevant nowadays, but no matter how you slice it, this is still an incredible movie, just from no matter what angle you slice. To my knowledge, Fruitvale Station was the directorial debut of Ryan Coogler, who has gone on to do a couple things. You might have heard of them. They're called Creed and, I don't know, Black Panther. And this was my first exposure to Michael B. Jordan, who is one of my favorite actors going today. This movie could have just been a straight-up preaching movie, and yeah, the movie does have a message, but at the center of it, there is a very tragic and heartbreaking story to it. The story of Oscar Grant III's final hours is truly heartbreaking because he pretty much loses everything except for his girlfriend and his daughter, but by the time of his death, he slowly starts planting the seeds of, hey, he's getting his life together. He may get an actual job that's actually worth a damn. He's proving that he's not a screw-up to his girlfriend and his daughter, and to his mom, played brilliantly by Octavia Spencer. Everything was going well for him, and yet it's cut off at the knees. The most effective scene of this movie is literally after everything has happened, just a long and terrible night. Oscar Grant III died, and then his girlfriend and their daughter go home and they take a shower together, and it's no music, and all you hear is just the shower and just them standing in the shower together, and the little girl goes, "Where's Dad?" It breaks my heart every single time. I am completely aware that Ryan Coogler also has Creed and Black Panther under his belt, and while I love those movies for different reasons, Fruitvale Station is Ryan Coogler's masterpiece, and you can't change my mind on that. And number 1, Whiplash. When I was looking through the list of Sundance winners, I saw Whiplash and was like, I don't care what else is on the list. That's my number 1, by a country mile. And yeah, Whiplash is amazing. Even 6 years or 7 years after it debuted, it still holds up incredibly well. Until that point, J.K. Simmons was just looking for pictures of Spider-Man. Now he was someone completely different. J.K. Simmons won an Oscar for this role, and yeah, it was more than deserved. And no matter what Miles Teller is in the future, I will always know him as Andrew Neiman from Whiplash. He's more than earned that, and he is one of the best parts of this whole movie. And Whiplash is not just about some angry and jaded band teacher yelling at some kids. There's more to it than that. This movie is about success, what you're willing to do to get it, and what you're willing to do to keep it. It's also about obsession and what you are willing to do to have that one moment in the sun. Honestly, the ending is worth the price of admission by itself. However, the rest of the movie is just incredible. I could talk about Whiplash for days. This is the best movie from Damien Chazelle, and while I like his other 2 outings, La La Land and First Man, I think Whiplash is his magnum opus. If you haven't seen Whiplash, you don't need to see it today, you need to see it a month ago. It is a must-watch. But that is all from me, guys. What are your favorite movies that premiered at Sundance? Leave them in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you all have to say. Also, please be sure to check out my fellow collaborators in the Movie Nerds Club. Again, their videos will be linked in the description down below. And again, if you'd like to check out more of my videos from the Movie Nerds Club, they will be linked in the eye in the right-hand corner. And next time on the channel, I'll be doing my video where I talk about my first viewing of My Neighbor Totoro. But if you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and if you like this video and you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button and click the bell to allow notifications. That way when a new video drops, you'll be the first to know about it. My name is Ryan Cam. I'll see you in the next one.